I never thought much about the creak in the third-floor hallway until the day it started following me. It was a Tuesday. Wait, no, Wednesday. I'd stayed late to finish a chem lab because I bombed the pre-lab quiz, and Mr. Hargrove has this thing about personal accountability. The school was mostly empty, just the janitor's radio drifting down from the gym and the vending machine humming like it was about to give up. I packed my bag, slung it over one shoulder, and headed for the stairs. That's when I heard it. Not footsteps exactly, more like a scuff, a drag, then nothing. I stopped. The hallway stretched both ways, fluorescent lights flickering like they were on their last breath. Empty. I laughed at myself, the kind of laugh that sounds too loud in a quiet building, and kept walking. But the scuff came again, closer. I picked up the pace, my sneakers squeaked. The scuff answered, softer, like whoever it was didn't want to be heard but couldn't help it. I hit the stairwell, took the steps 2 at a time, and burst out the side door into the parking lot. The cold slapped me. I didn't look back until I was in my car, keys shaking in my hand. Nothing. Just the usual cars, the dumpster, the chain-link fence rattling in the wind. I told myself it was a rat, or the pipes, or my brain inventing drama because I'd watched too many true crime docs. The next day, I forgot about it, mostly. Then the notes started. First one was in my locker, folded into a tiny square and shoved through the vent slot. No name, just 3 words, in black ink. You dropped this. I hadn't dropped anything. I checked my bag twice. Nothing missing. I crumpled the note and tossed it in the trash by the cafeteria, but I kept thinking about the handwriting. Small, neat, almost pretty. Like a girl's. Or someone trying to look like one. Thursday, I found a Polaroid in my math textbook. Same handwriting on the back. Nice shoes. It was a photo of my sneakers, taken from behind, mid-stride, in the hallway outside the band room. I'd worn those shoes every day that week. The timestamp on the bottom said 2:47 p.m. I had band practice at 2:30. I started looking over my shoulder. Not paranoid, just aware. I noticed things I hadn't before. Like how the same hoodie, gray, frayed at the cuffs, kept showing up in the corner of my eye. Library, cafeteria line. Once in the reflection of the trophy case when I was tying my shoe. I asked around, subtly. Hey, you see anyone weird hanging out by the band room? My friends shrugged. Jake said, dude, it's high school. Everyone's weird. Sarah laughed and said I was being dramatic. Maybe I was. But then came the voicemail. I didn't recognize the number. I almost deleted it, but the preview said my name. I pressed play in the parking lot after practice, engine running, doors locked. Static, then breathing. Slow, close to the mic. A whisper, barely there. You sound better when you're scared. The call ended. I stared at the screen until it went black. My hands were sweating. I drove home doing 40 in a 25, checking the rear view every 3 seconds. That night, I couldn't sleep. I kept hearing the scuff in my head. I got up, checked the locks 3 times, peeked out the window. Street was empty, just the neighbor's cat stalking shadows. Friday, I skipped last period, told the office I had a migraine. I sat in my car in the back lot, watching the doors. People trickled out. No gray hoodie, no one looking around like they were searching. I started to feel stupid. Then my phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. You left early, disappointed. Attached was a photo. Me, in my car, right then, taken from the tree line behind the fence. You could see my face in the side mirror, eyes wide, mouth open like I was mid-sentence. I floored it out of there. Didn't stop until I was home. Doors locked, blinds shut. I called the cops. They came, took a report, said they'd look into it. The officer, Martinez, gave me that look, like I was some kid overreacting to a prank. That night, I slept with my baseball bat under the bed. Saturday, I didn't leave the house. Played Xbox, ate cold pizza, tried to act normal. Around midnight, I heard it again, the scuff, but softer, inside. I sat up.
My room was dark, except for the glow of my monitor. The sound came from the closet, a slow scrape, like something dragging across carpet. I grabbed the bat, heart hammering so loud I could barely hear. I crept to the closet, yanked the door open. Nothing, just clothes, shoes, the usual mess. I laughed, shaky, relieved, told myself it was the house settling. Then I saw it. On the inside of the closet door, written in the same neat handwriting, fresh black ink, still wet, "See you Monday." I didn't sleep. I sat in the kitchen with the lights on, bat across my lap, staring at the front door until the sun came up. Monday morning, I didn't go to school. I told my mom I was sick. She bought it. I stayed in bed, curtains drawn, phone off. Around noon, there was a knock. Soft. 3 taps. I froze. Another knock. Then my mom's voice. "Honey, you decent? Someone's here to see you." I cracked the door. Mom stood there with a girl I vaguely recognized. Short brown hair, glasses, gray hoodie. She smiled like we were old friends. "Hi," she said. "I'm Emily, from Chem. You dropped your pen the other day. Thought I'd return it." She held out a black pen. My pen. The one I'd been looking for since Tuesday. I stared. My mouth wouldn't work. Mom frowned. "You okay, sweetie? You look pale." Emily's smile didn't waver. Her eyes flicked to the bat leaning against my desk, just visible behind me. "See you in class," she said, then turned and walked away, hoodie strings swinging. Mom closed the door. "Weird kid. You sure you're okay?" I nodded, locked the door, sat on the floor. The pen was warm in my hand. On the clip, etched so small I almost missed it. "You're cute when you run."